Capcom, you gonna have to fix a lot of these little issues with Street Fighter 6. These are important for the future and a healthy environment around Street Fighter 6 and the ecosystem of the games for casuals, competitors, and people in between. There's a lot of little issues in Street Fighter 6 that's stopping this game from being perfect. And don't get me wrong, Street Fighter 6 is a beautiful fighting game. It has all the single player content, a lot of the game modes and gameplay is well put together. Street Fighter 6 is one of the best fighting games in the last decade, if not of all time. But I wonder, will Capcom hear me out and listen to these issues about Street Fighter 6 in and out of the game? Let's get right to it. Alright, let's get the obvious one a lot of people have been talking about on Twitter, the music. Number one, there is no way to access Jukebox mode in the game. I remember Capcom saying in one of the Capcom Twitch events or streams that they will let us use Jukebox mode in the game. Jukebox is in the game, however you can only use it right now in World Tour or just training mode.
No, God, please, no, no!
I think that is the weirdest, worst decision, especially when you had the game beforehand. So many people complaining about the music and the OST of Street Fighter 6. This is something y'all gotta fix ASAP, because I play the game 90% of the time with the music off. Out of the whole soundtrack in the game, I'll say that's probably like 5 tracks. Like at least 10% of the music I actually like listening to. Again, it's not the biggest issue for me per se, because I can just turn off my music and play something else in the background.
Long way from suburban town.
Oh, another thing about the music. Apparently you can't get the music in the game. You have to earn it via the battle pass. And I think that's kind of lame. I don't like that at all. That's actually horrible. Just put the music in the game. Guilty Gear Strive had its own free Jukebox mode. Yeah, you had to do free fishing, gotcha, etc. But what if you ain't playing and you can't get the music at the time? Will they just give it to you at the end of the month or at the end of the battle pass? Why they dropping random songs like that in the game? It's so much wrong with how they handling music in Street Fighter 6, especially when the OST ain't the most well received. It is very frustrating, I will tell you. Music adds to the fighting game experience. You ain't got music most of the time. If the music sucks, you ain't gonna be feeling the game. You're gonna turn the game off. If it ain't getting you immersed into the battle, what's the point of fighting? Diaphone made a funny joke tweet like, yo, this game could have got 100% on Metacritic, but they took off like 8 points because of the music. Number 2, the lobbies need work. Now, we had a tournament last year. Shout out to Phil, of course, and people of that nature. We definitely need y'all to work on the lobby system in Street Fighter 6. Number 1, it's very delayed when you spectate, things of that nature. There's so many different workarounds you have to do. And for tournaments, online tournaments, it is not the best in the world. So the best way to alleviate that is like, yo, tell the players not to start the spectate and just wait a couple seconds and then play your match out, because it's usually delayed. I think if they fix that right there, this could be one of the best online systems in fighting games, period. It's not the worst thing in the world because you could still at least spectate. I come from a community of games that don't even have online lobbies at launch. But if you can make it to where it's more close to like, hey, let the players load in and then let it sync up all together, like 1 second is good, but there can generally be some delay sometimes, and that can be very bad for commentary and just the community outside of y'all main events. That can hinder online tournaments in that way a lot. At one point, some people even prefer using the Battle Hub cabs, which is very weird to run a tournament on, than using an actual online lobby. That's why I said, Capcom, you should have probably tested this in the closed beta, the open beta, etc. They should have tested that feature out. Oh my god, this next one just hurts the overall playtime of me grinding the game. I'm not even joking. Capcom, y'all gotta fix ranked. I made a video a couple weeks ago or something like that before the game came out about ranked being kind of cool in the game. I am completely wrong and I apologize for that video. Number 1, ranked is so weird. The way you do placements, the criteria for them, there are some people that get into platinum that shouldn't be in platinum. I've also came to realize, depending on what you pick when you first start off Street Fighter 6 with a character, it will put you in a certain tier of placements and then judge you accordingly based off of that. That's good. I like that. The actual problem with ranked in Street Fighter 6 is I feel like I'm fighting the same 5 to 6 people sometimes. Depending on what rank you in, this might not be noticeable to you. Silver or rookie or bronze, you might have like a plethora pool of players. There's a lot of new players playing Street Fighter 6. But if you're like gold 2 or higher, you might see some of the same people a lot more. And I think it kind of sucks, Capcom, when you have such good netcode, you could play people across the world in Street Fighter 6. I've played in multiple lobbies from different regions and still got to have some great matches. So I wish Ranked had a bigger pool. I guess they want to eliminate the idea of people complaining about connections and fighting random people, but at the end of the day, you gonna always run into a Brazilian Ken or a Brazilian Ryu, so it just might as well deal with it. Also, I even partaken in the tournament, and it feels like rank is just very like a second nature thing in this game. They really feel like it's too important to me right now. I've held my own against Platinum 3 players, and I landed gold with Cammy. Yeah, I am on modern controls. I guess if you want to say, oh, that's carrying you or something like that, you just salty, you're getting cooked. It's not my modern controls. You just the worst player to me. But I hope y'all do something about making rank different in Street Fighter 6. I know this is early on, this is the very first season, so y'all can always correct the things down the road, especially after EVO and with updates. So I can see that changing probably in the near future, or probably after the first official battle pass is done. Something around like after EVO or anything. And the biggest problem with this game, Lord, oh my god, this one thing be making me want to just rip my damn fucking ugly hair out, bro. It make me so mad. It make me so mad, bro. The input system, the input interpreter in Street Fighter 6 is garbage. It's even worse for me because I notice it because I'm on modern controls. So therefore, I don't have to do motions 24/7. Some moments I do Grand Blue when I feel more comfortable in it. Other moments I'm gonna do the actual motion input. Frustrating thing in Street Fighter 6 is when you try to go for Hadouken motion, you somehow get Shoryuken. Or if you try to go for Shoryuken, you get level 3. For example, it's very noticeable with Ken. No matter what controller I use, it just happens. Well, like I know I'm doing a basic DP, and for some reason, level 3 came out. The inputs in this game is probably the most annoying thing about the game. And I think the problem with the input system in Street Fighter 6 is that it's too linear, or they didn't add any buffer to it. Add a little bit more, like at least 2 more frames on it, I'll be okay with it, bruh. Do that, man. Do something. Fix this. There's some moments where I know I'm doing like the most basic thing in the world that I've been doing since I was 5 years old, and I get a whole different move. And yes, I can show you with the freaking input directory that I'm not mashing before somebody say that. Regardless, Street Fighter 6 is a beautiful game, an amazing product that y'all released on June this year. I'm very happy with what I got, but these are some gripes that need to be fixed for Street Fighter 6. Shout out to Capcom for actually making such an amazing product that everybody is really enthusiastic about. However, these little gripes over time, if they do not get fixed, could probably hinder the game, and people probably go to different video games or other fighting games. Who knows? There's a lot of good games this year to get annoyed by small things. You know, some people just can't deal with it. Call me the boomer, the angry boomer. Anyway, do you have any gripes you have with Street Fighter 6? Drop them down below. Capcom could probably see this. I'm gonna add Capcom. Hopefully we get something resolved or fixed with the game. That would be very beautiful for the future of Street Fighter 6. This game is already amazing. There's just little gripes and things that add up that can harm and hurt the game as well.